So this is unexpected. Or maybe not, depending on how reliable Nintendo leaks have been over the years. After years of waiting, after the train wreck that was Zero, after his surprising but undoubtedly calculated appearance in the Mario Galaxy movie, we're finally getting a new entry in the Star Fox series for Switch 2. And? Star Fox has always been one of those Nintendo series that I definitely enjoy and appreciate, but not one that has really earned a lot of my attention as of late. I played the original in 64 a ton as a kid, and even though I've really only dabbled in the other games, I have a lot of respect for the franchise. And as we all know, sometimes Nintendo only has enough bandwidth to support their most important game series, which often leaves others with massive droughts for years. I became a die-hard Metroid fan right after Samus Returns came out, which meant that by the time we finally got Metroid Dread, it hit like crack. Suffice to say, I'm the kind of optimist that knows Nintendo never abandons their properties forever. We just got Donkey Kong back, Pikmin 4 took 10 years to come out and is regarded as the best in the series by many. F-Zero 99 counts, I guess? So I knew that it was inevitable that someday, Miyamoto-san's forgotten middle child would make a return. He's one of the original 12 Smash fighters after all. So when news started circulating about a new game this year, I couldn't imagine what that might mean. See, Star Fox never really settled on a style going into the 2000s. 64 is iconic for a reason, but after Adventures, Assault, and Command, we haven't really seen much innovation. 64 3D is a charming, competent port of the original, and I'm sure some people out there like Zero, but what could they possibly bring to the table in 2026 that doesn't alienate new players?
Slippy here. So far, so good.
Right. Whether or not a fourth reimagining of the original Star Fox is what the franchise needed is absolutely a fair argument to make. I'm trying to imagine a timeline where, after Wind Waker and Four Swords Adventures, the Zelda series went down the same path. We'd still get Ocarina of Time 3D, but maybe now we skip the Wii entirely and get something like Skyward Sword on the Wii U, painfully late in its life cycle. I love Skyward Sword though, so let's pretend it's instead a retread of the adult dungeons from Ocarina with, I don't know, maybe you have to use the gamepad as your shield and a Wii remote as your sword. Link still shows up in Smash Bros. And gets some weird, obscure crossover in a tangentially related but unique third-party game. By the time we get to the Switch 2, rumors start to brew about a new Zelda game. What could it be? And by early May, with nary a Nintendo Direct in sight, we get the announcement of a ground-up, detailed, fully featured remake of Ocarina of Time. Again. Maybe they ditch the anime-style character designs and Link just looks like a PlayStation character now. Sounds silly, right? Well, maybe it's not the most apt comparison I can make. Zelda as a franchise has been known to evolve game over game, and even if there are strong similarities between various entries, they each have their own identity. What is Star Fox Zero known for besides being bad? I guess I should get straight to the point. I am, on the whole, optimistic about this new Star Fox game, and I'll tell you why. Nintendo has reached the widest audience in the history of the company with the Switch family, factually in the history of gaming. And while it was absolutely riskier back in the Wii U days to try to get non-gamers to drink from their cup, now their user base is almost spoiled with an ever-flowing fountain of games new and old, series that stick to their guns and others that dare to be new and different. There's been a lot of discourse about whether or not the Switch 2 has enough games. I've had mine since launch day, and while I can't argue with someone who's waiting for a new Mario, a Zelda, a Smash, a Pokemon game to bite the bullet, let's not act like there aren't dozens of high-quality Nintendo games to play and series that have begged to see the light of day for years. There are 3 mainline Metroid games on Switch 1 alone, the most that series has ever had. What's my point? I'm saying that while the initiative to reintroduce dormant franchises is nothing new, there's never been a better time to do so. Is a weirdly photorealistic remake of a 90s game going to appeal to everyone who bought, say, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Probably not, but for those who like Nintendo and appreciate the history of its games, it could satisfy their every need. Not every new game needs to be a doorbuster. Star Fox 64 has been remade and reimagined so many times for a reason. It's a very repetitive, easy to learn yet hard to master game that helped define the 5th generation of gaming. Both its fluctuating campaign and multiplayer give you a lot to do, even years later. But where Zero failed is that it was really just the 64 original. Again. I know it has its fans, but from the jump, an alienating control scheme on a system nobody bought. Good luck selling this to your grandma. What are we left with then? Right away, the character designs seem to be getting the most negative attention. After seeing Fox in the Mario movie, it's certainly a strange departure. But can I be honest? I really don't mind it one bit. Sure, I was a bit surprised myself, but for so long the Big N was committed to gameplay above all else, unfortunately leaving their visuals to suffer in a lot of cases. The Switch 2 is a pretty powerful machine, and those developers know how to squeeze a lot out of their hardware. Just look at Metroid Prime Remastered. That game looks so good for being from 2023. So why not lean into the realism as a little flex? We don't know if these will be their designs forever. Maybe they will. They do take some inspiration from the puppets made for the original game, so as funny as it is to joke about this will be Star Fox in 2013 and all that, I'm on board for this direction. You're flying the ship, not staring him in the face the whole time, unless you use game chat, which... come on. More specifically, I was very impressed by the landscape design and atmosphere. A first look trailer isn't always a mark of final quality, but these games are usually finished long before release. The environments just look so detailed and have a lot of variety, with some shots of the stages unironically making my jaw drop. As for gameplay, I mean, yeah, it's Star Fox alright, can't say much more about it than that. It's nice to get standard controls back, and mouse mode was a given. I'm unfortunately very mouse-pilled and look forward to trying it out. I can't believe having functional controls is something to praise a game for these days. The added cutscenes in between missions are a super cool idea. These are characters that already have a bit more depth than the likes of other Nintendo heroes, so this is a nice change. I guess it won't be for people who hate the designs, but I digress. The expanded multiplayer mode also looks promising. I can't predict how long anyone will keep playing it after launch, but I don't know. It seems like a strong natural progression that any modern game in the series would sorely need if trying to reach the goal of appealing to new and old fans. Now, there are also rumors that this is a stopgap to tide us over before getting a truly new Star Fox game in the future. If that ends up being the case, and this game is good, then I say, why not? Even if this game doesn't quite stick the landing, I guess we have enough proof over the past few years that any game in any series is someday possible. We got a new Mario and Luigi game years after its original studio shut down. Whether or not Star Fox... You know what? Scratch that. Why did they give it such a boring-ass 2010s reboot-ass name? No subtitles came to mind? What about, like, Star Fox Origins? Whatever. There are people out there who are better Star Fox experts than I am, but I don't think it needs to reinvent the wheel for a first go-around 10 years after the last entry. We might get a new game soon after, but even if we don't, as long as this one is good, I'll be happy. There's undoubtedly some kid out there whose favorite character in Smash is Fox McCloud. I hope this game is good for him. Maybe that will inspire him to seek out the games that other Smash characters originate from. That's what got me and many other fans to be fans after all. We shouldn't be exclusive about what games deserve to be remade or even remade more than once. Sometimes it takes a while for a series appeal to reach a younger, fresher audience. So what if that very game happens to be derivative of something that came before? Just please don't be $80.